Make that big boss less special. It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level. Second level gaming. Second level.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to our coverage of PixelPop 2017. I'm here with Ben Poynter from Looking Glass, and talking about the game Marshall's Theory here, which is one of the more bizarre things that I've ever seen, in a good way, because I love bizarre. So, without sort of revealing too much, but kind of revealing a little bit, explain away the game to these guys so they know what they're looking at. Explain away the game? Well, absolutely. This game is indeed bizarre, mainly because it is of two identities. I'm the creator of the game, animator, artist, coder, writer, what have you. All the things. All the things, except for one special thing. The HoloPlayerOne, which this game is also featured upon, as you will probably see, and it is a hologram device, because Looking Glass, who I work for and represent, is chasing the dream of the hologram. Marshall's Theory, the game, one of the several games out, is a game that takes place inside the nightmare of the American president, the Donald. The current American president. If you will, the current. The current. But you are in his dream, and you must defend yourself against the protesters who are coming after you, and you have various images or various attacks at your disposal. You can drive a golf cart into him, you can summon Vladimir Putin, and you can shoot a tweet. There's several things you can do to harm these people. I like the Sean Spicer shield was one of my favorites. Yeah. The Sean Spicer rush attack. There you go. People dig that one. So, okay. So where the hell did this come from, man? You made a game about a Donald Trump nightmare. It has some of the funniest attack moves that I've ever seen. Where does one even imagine up that as a game idea? Well, that's a good question. Because well, sometimes I debate that myself, but it's really very quickly. It's a couple kernel things. Okay. Because when I was on a trip to Washington, D.C. with my wife, we got caught up in this impromptu protest. Okay. This happened to be the weekend of the travel ban. Oh, right. And so people marching through, and we got inspired to take social action. And I've made games in the past that have gotten banned from the Apple Store for my activism. Really? Protest. Wow. And at the same time, I was just surfing through my library, and I came across a titular quote from Marshall McLuhan, the guy behind The Medium is the Message. And he talked about this idea of politicians not so much using their policy anymore as their weapon, but just the image. Okay. A projection of themselves is more important than themselves actually, because politicians don't tell the truth anymore. Sure. And and I put two and two together, the PB&J, and that's where we wound up at the concept for Marshall's Theory. Wow. That's that's actually really interesting. How you went down that rabbit hole from a single quote into making this kind of idea. Yeah. So why a nightmare, though? Why put it in a nightmare world? Just because it's more fun to play with in a game world? Or well, it's we think about the American dream, perhaps. Yes, or American Nightmare. American Nightmare. That's about where we're at. And so it's a nightmare because the president is under distress in this particular game. And so he's running away. He's trying to survive his dream one more night so the protesters don't grab away at him. Gotcha. And sort of the unique thing about this we've already said is this is playable entirely without the special holo situation here. Yeah. But what would you say this brings to the experience playing it with that? Is it just the fact that it's kind of futuristic? It's something people always wanted to do, or does it actually add to the narrative in some way? It's a very valid question. Why does Trump need to be a hologram? Well, this is interesting because we were discussing earlier the idea of projecting oneself, telling lies instead of the truth. Well, a hologram is a reflection of a reflection of a reflection. Politics right now are just that, reflections. So that's the hologram. The game is a dream, so the hologram is a nice aura of a dream. Also, you think about what do holograms also do in modern day? They try to bring back a past memory. There's holograms of Michael Jackson on stage. True. Tupac on stage. Yeah. And now that democracy has died, we can do a hologram of democracy. Dude, this is going great. I love this. I love every part of this. All right, so how long has this been in development for at this point? I want to say piece by piece over time, about 4 months. By 4 months? Wow, and it's really? So it's, and it's game, besides the hardware, I've been developing this concurrently for hologram and PC. Okay. And it's gone on that long, and I think it's reached its 99% completion rate. When the HoloPlayerOne comes out, November 2017, the game will go with it. And that will be its
conclusion, I suppose.
So is there any other titles in development for the HoloPlayerOne, or is it just Marshall's theory at this point?
There are plenty. I've been developing plenty of other apps, and so have the very, very talented team at Looking Glass as well. We've had a very talented guy make a sculpting app based on like hand location placement inside the hologram.
Wow.
We've then had people do holo operation. We've had people do a wide variety of things, even make a god game inside of this machine. And so I've made various things like a tech deck controlled skateboard game and other brash
I noticed a little tech deck skateboard down there, and I was wondering what the what the deal with that was.
Yeah, we've made wackier things. This is a tech deck controlled holographic skateboarding game.
That's amazing. So you would just do it in the hologram.
Yeah,
Wow.
basically. And so we made wacky things at this lab.
So, like, right now, I think it's fair to say that in the game space, like, virtual reality is pretty huge. Augmented reality is getting pretty big. Holograms are kind of right up in there in that kind of echelon of new types of experiences for game. Where do you see them fitting in the future? Like in terms of is it just kind of something you've always wanted to see happen, or do you think they like have a really viable place as a main format for the way people play games?
We have indeed thought about that. You know, like VR, and part of the mantra behind Looking Glass is we try to achieve these special effects or ways to experience technology without the aiding of a helmet.
Right.
That's where Looking Glass comes in. We try to achieve holograms and these displays without the aid for a helmet or a gadget that needs to assist you.
Right.
I think that's where the barrier between like this new avant-garde experience and, you know, like the person, it gets removed. And there it is. And that's where we hope to find our place in the future while we're chasing the dream of the hologram.
Have you put much thought into kind of gamers with disabilities and things like that, and how that might be able to be utilized for them specifically? Or
we have certainly like tried to gear it towards people who may not be affiliated with holograms. Like sight is obviously a big part of it, and our target market, believe it or not, we're trying to aim at the younger people, you know, the children who like want to use these tools for like their own enjoyment or fantasies.
Yeah.
Marshall's theory is actually a bit of an anomaly in the development cycle of these. So we do consider people who may not have their full consciousness available.
Gotcha. It's a wonderful idea. I love the American survival horror aspect of the game itself. I would play it with or without the hologram, but the hologram definitely lends credence to the experience. Like you said, it's so meta that you're going into the idea of it being a projection of a projection and things like that. I love it. So is there anything else you can tell us about Looking Glass or Marshall's theory that we don't know, having viewed this footage and kind of
Well, well, about Looking Glass, we're a team of people based in Brooklyn, New York, and like, you know, like our CTO, Sean Frayne, Alex Hornstein, they're working around the clock to create these wonderful hardwares and experiences for us. We got Kyle, got Oliver, got Duncan, we got up there working very hard. We're a team, basically. Marshall's theory is one piece of the bigger team of us just trying to really push forward this thing into the next, you know, echelon of technology right here.
So are you just touring around the country then? Because if are you from Brooklyn yourself, or are you from St. Louis freelancing to the Brooklyn
I am
team?
from New York right now. I live in Jersey, but I'm in Brooklyn. And so I just happened to find this festival, and the game got accepted. And the game...
Wow.
Just actually last Monday, the game was on stage in New York for the Games for Change Festival.
Wow.
And it was presented, and for its troubles, it got a nod for, Best Emerging Media game for a pitch
That's
event.
incredible, man. Congratulations.
So it's going around. Thank you, yeah. So it's coming with its hard work, and we hope to, spread the word.
Awesome. So is there anywhere that people can find you, or more about the game, or more about HoloGlass, and give me websites, give me Twitter handles, all that stuff.
There we go. Well, let's see here. We got Looking Glass, www.lookingglassfactory.com. We also have forum. I think it's like forum-lookingglassfactory, or the other way around. Me, www.benjaminpoynter.com. I'm an artist. I'm a teacher as well. I made various games and things in the past. I always keep myself active. And, you know, those are the two main ones.
Easy ways to get a hold of you.
LKJ Glass at Twitter, Benjamin Poynter. You'll find us.
So if you want to take a look at Mr. Trump's nightmare, you know where to go. It is really worth the trip, let me say that. And if you do get a chance to go on location to somewhere that Benjamin will be or his team will be, it's definitely worth checking out the HoloGlass. Just experiencing that sort of hologram dream that you may have had in the 80s finally coming into reality is kind of a really cool thing. So thanks a lot for spending the time, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for spending the time.
No, not at all. And thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.